there, friends. Welcome back. It is the second day of spring and it is a beautiful day. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
We are outside. I am going to be doing some outdoor seeding today. So we're switching it up. We're doing our first outdoor in-ground seeding of the 2023 season. So this is exciting stuff. Today I am going to be planting flowers that are in the cool, hardy annual category, meaning that they will survive and actually thrive in cooler temperatures. There are certain flowers that I can overwinter here in my zone, meaning they are winter hardy to my zone. I'm in zone 6, so that information is something that you will find on the seed packet. If you are not familiar with the cool flowers concept, basically there are 2 different times of year that you can take advantage of these cool hardy annuals. See ya! Depending on what zone you're in, like I said, you may be able to overwinter some varieties, which means that you can plant them in the fall either as direct sown seeds or transplants. Right now I am doing planting in what is considered very early spring. Using either of those planting times should allow you to have flowers a lot earlier than you normally would if you were just working with warm season annuals. Before I get planting, I do have a little bit of prep work to do. This is the bed I use to plant my cool flowers in fall and spring, just because it's easily accessible. It doesn't hold too much moisture, so the ground is usually easily workable around this time of year, and it just allows me to get these plants in the ground a little bit faster. Okay, so I've got the bed prepped and smoothed out. Kane had topped it with a thick layer of some nice compost, and that will help to keep the weeds down and just give us a good bed. I'm certainly not going to plant this entire bed today with seeds. I have a lot of transplants of this same class of flowers that I've been working on for, gosh, I don't know, almost 6 weeks now, I guess. So when those guys are ready, they'll be put into this bed as well. I don't normally direct sow my cool flowers in the spring. I will normally only do transplants in the spring, but I missed my planting window in the fall just completely. Because the time when you need to have the transplants started for cool flowers in the summer is like high season, when everything's going crazy and you just want to pull your hair out and give up. I think the direct seeding is going to be okay because we've been having a pretty mild stretch of weather here, and it looks like that's going to continue. So a lot of times the direct sowing in this very early spring will not produce as well in terms of germination, just because even though the plants are cool weather hardy, you still need a little bit of heat for those seeds to germinate. So that's the story on that, and I'm gonna start making my rows, and then I'll talk about what kinds of seeds I am gonna be planting today. Okay, I've got 11 different varieties that I am planting today. So I've got 11 rows made. So some things that I am direct sowing are a red cornflower, larkspur, that's just a mix, some different poppies, love and a mist. I have a few different colors of this. I like the green marbles and what was the other one? Green marbles, Miss Jekyll blue, and a red or pink variety. Bells of Ireland. I did do some indoor seeding of these. They don't always do well inside for me, so I'm gonna throw some in the ground and see what happens. Poppy pod, and this is Bupleurum. This is one of my favorite early spring fillers. It's awesome. It adds a lot of dimension and structure to a bouquet. During that time, the flowers are usually kind of like airy and wispy, and the Bupleurum will give a nice structure to form your bouquet around. All right, I've got everything written out on little markers. Let's get some seeds in the ground. Okay, seeds are all planted. The last thing I need to do to give these seedlings a better chance at survival is I'm gonna cover them with my kind of pre-made caterpillar tunnel. This is a brand called Hacksnicks. You can search that. I have a few of these. They're just pre-formed hoops, and this is a mesh. They do make one for cold protection. Now, you would think that because I am in very early spring, we're not out of the frost time yet, you might wonder why I'm not protecting these with frost cloth. So the reason is they don't need it. They don't even need this. But the reason I am using this little caterpillar tunnel is to protect the seeds and then seedlings from basically environmental factors, which in my neighborhood are cats and chickens. I always cover my very early plantings, whether it's transplants or seeds, because I get really, really mad when my hard work gets undone by some animals that don't belong in my area. We'll leave it at that. Believe it or not, even though this is a mesh fabric, it does actually offer a little bit of temperature. I don't want to say temperature control, but it does hold a little bit of warmth, even though that's not its intended purpose. Because I use this, and I know after using it for a few years, I know kind of how much will fit under one blow tunnel. That's why I keep my rows pretty short in this bed. You might have been wondering, like, why am I not using the whole bed? And that's why. Plus it gives me a manageable row when I'm harvesting. And there's some things on the other side of this bed, like fruit trees, that I don't need to tangle with, you know? So I can reach everything I need to from this side. If you haven't already done so, be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our homestead happenings. So you can see that tunnel goes up pretty easily. It's super helpful when you are just one person taking care of things. On the end, there's just like a little drawstring. So what I do is I just grab this is like a part of a brick, just wrap up that drawstring, and then that helps to hold the ends down. I'll do the same thing on the other end, and we're good to go. Just like that, our first batch of direct sown seeds for the 2023 season is done. I know I gave a brief overview of the cool flower concept today. I know it can be kind of confusing at first. If you're looking for more detailed information on that, I'll go over this again, you know, as it comes up in my season. But if you're looking for more detailed information, I would recommend checking into all of the free resources from the Gardener's Workshop. They've got tons of resources on the cool flower concept and lots of other things. The most important things really are understanding your seasons within your zone, and then finding plants that will work with that zone, and then determining whether you can plant them in fall before your first frost or in early spring before your last frost. So there's just a few little things that you got to work out. Once you understand the overall concept, you'll be good to go. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you next week right here on Hawn Acre.